right? It is the noisiest outfit. It didn't really do much, and then they called it a windbreaker. The wind cut right through it. Like it made
Yeah.
no sense to call it a windbreaker.
You were breaking wind in it. I mean, breaking the wind.
Weirdest outfit. Weirdest outfit. Popular as all ever, but
Oh,
never made
yeah.
any sense.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to come back.
Even running with Maverick and Wolfman. Maverick here.
Wolfman here. Don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is the big one. X, you can find us there too. But YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and we'll keep bringing it to you.
What's up?
Living the dream.
How's your day going today?
Good. Good. How was yours?
Long.
Same.
Listen, let's get into it. Where's your training at? What have you been doing?
Miles, I got to work out tomorrow. Tempo, I think. I'd have to look. But not too bad. Not too bad. About, I think I'm between 30 and 45 miles a week.
Nice. Nice.
Even on that little down week I had, so that's good.
Nice.
How about yourself?
Injured reserve.
Injured reserve.
Can't run
Pull
for a couple
hammy?
days. What's that?
Pull a hammy?
No. Out of commission. A couple days. I'll be back.
It
Back
happens.
stronger than ever.
Yeah, I hope that soup in that cup.
Just pure water. Just H2O. Listen, did you see that thing about the guy in the New York Marathon who had cameramen following him on e-bikes?
Yes and no. I didn't really hear about it or see about it, but I know some running pages that I follow were saying things about people on e-bikes and these influencers and stuff, but I didn't realize I didn't know where they were talking about or anything like that. Like, I don't know a lot of the details.
Yeah, so basically, apparently he's a running guy who is a social influencer, obviously, and he had two cameramen following him on e-bikes during the New York Marathon, filming him. And of course, that's not allowed.
Yeah. Well, did they get in people's way and stuff like that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, well, think about it. It's 26.2 miles
Oh yeah.
through New York, 55,000+ people running it, plus the crowd.
Yeah.
And then two cameramen, like not even one, but two on e-bikes. Like that's gonna get in some people's way real quick. I'm surprised that. What's that?
It pissed me off.
I was gonna say, I don't know how you feel about it because I'm not a marathoner, but it doesn't sound like a good idea even for like a 5K because like you don't know what people are gonna do. They don't know what you're gonna do. Like if you ever watch the Tour de France and you watch the motorcyclists, they get in the cyclist way and stuff goes down. Like people wreck bad. Like it's not good at all.
And those are the professional guys, aren't they?
Those are professionals. Yeah, those are professional cameramen, and not to mention the people that are in the cars that know cycling really well. They can get in the way. It gets people fired up real quick. Yeah, you gotta watch. Be careful. But yeah, no, that's not. Don't do that. Don't bring somebody to. If you have someone running with you, like we've done that. That's not a big deal because it's just your phone. Like you're looking at a time where you can get some footage or whatever. But also the GoPro. Use that camera
Yeah.
on your body, and nobody cares. No one's upset about that. But yeah, having people on e-bikes,
Yeah.
ugh, that gets
Even
dangerous
that,
quick.
like, even if you've got the GoPro or you're holding the thing, like, go to the side, go away from everybody. Do your stuff over there.
Yeah, there's ways to do it to be less, offensive and less in people's way, and definitely when it's like that's a long race, man. You don't want
Yeah.
somebody in your way messing with you. It's a
Yeah.
long haul, you know
Well,
that.
did they DQ the guy? They
Yeah,
should have.
he's not allowed to run in New York again ever.
I would even go a step further, and I would say he shouldn't be allowed to run any of the majors. None of
Oh,
the Abbott
well, I don't think you have that jurisdiction.
I'm putting that out there. Somebody start a petition. We'll have Larry start a petition. This guy can't compete in any majors.
So I mean, hey, listen, like I said, I appreciate what he's trying to do, but you know,
Yeah, but there's a time and a place.
well, e-bikes is not a good idea. Just not. No one would have said anything if it was two people running with them doing it. No one would have cared.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so that's what that's all about, huh?
Yeah. So I didn't know if you caught that, but yeah, I caught that, and I was like, wow, yeah, that's gonna stir the pot a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, for a while there, they didn't even allow like headphones or anything like that, and then they finally decided to allow those because people get those things on, they don't pay attention, they run in the way of other people and everything else. So for a long time, you couldn't even wear those, and then they finally started allowing them.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of rule changes over the years, and the field has grown immensely. If you look
Yeah.
back to the start of the New York City Marathon and the way it's grown, it's not the same. It's
Yeah.
not the same animal anymore. It's way bigger. It's way
Yeah.
more popular. It's got much more televised. There's more referees, officials. Like it's just totally different than it used to
Oh yeah.
be.
I want to say
Um,
like when it first started, it was just loops around Central Park. I'm pretty sure. Um, like back before it really took off. And there's a movie about it. Can't think of the name of the movie, but it's about that the race director of New York and the race director of I think it was Chicago, and their competition back and forth to create the most prestigious marathon race in the U.S. and whose was bigger and whose was better. It's a pretty wild movie, um,
yeah. So
but
you have
yeah,
to
it's
pull that
interesting.
and put it in the link.
Yeah, I'll have to look up the name of it, but it was very interesting. I watched it on Netflix, so maybe it's not even around anymore, but it was pretty neat, the history of it. But I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I did see something too about how. Do you remember when the woman was running New York and she was like doing really well, and then the race director tried to pull her off the course in the
That was Boston.
'60s? That was New York.
No, that was I can't think of her name now. I'm blanking on it. I almost met her because she came to one of the Bostons when it was like an anniversary year, and I was there. Um, and yeah, she registered under her first initial and last name because women were not allowed to race it. And then there's a picture of him trying to, I don't know if it was the race director, but there's a picture of one of the like bigwigs at Boston trying to pull her off the course, and her boyfriend, I believe it was at the time, shoving him out of the way. And
That
like
deserves a
she,
shove, though, doesn't
yeah,
it? I mean,
and yeah, she finished it, and she was the first woman, I believe, to finish the Boston Marathon. And I can't think of her name right now. I'll have to look that up and put it in the description as well. I should know it. It's going
yeah,
to be one
I,
of those. I'm going to see it and I'm going to be like, ah, that's what it
I
was.
I apologize. I didn't know we were going to get into these topics today.
No, no, it's all good. But yeah, it's pretty wild.
But yeah, she apparently was an excellent runner. Now, the thing that gets me though is that her times and everybody's times were not nearly as fast as they are today. Like when you compare
Oh,
them, but they also were running in like sweats and stuff that we
yeah.
would never run a marathon in. Even a
Well,
5K, you wouldn't run in those things.
I mean, it's completely changed. I mean, if you read some of the stories by like Frank Shorter and Kenny Moore and those guys, even from the 70s, they were preparing Coca-Cola along the way, making it flat, that kind of stuff, and that was their fuel. Like
Yeah.
Dick Beardsley took a painter's cap and just poked a whole bunch of holes in it to keep the sun off his head when he was racing Alberto Salazar in the 80s. I mean, it's completely changed. And yeah, the times, I mean, they're wild compared to
Yeah.
what they used to be.
Yeah. I remember even like hearing from my dad like stories about how he'd be running sweats. Like that's what they trained in. That's what they
Hmm.
raced. It's like, why would you run it? It was loose
Yeah.
fitting clothes. Like there wasn't
Yeah.
anything really too much better than that. So if it was cold, that's what you ran in. And I
Yeah.
remember there was a race where he ended up taking off most of his stuff and throwing it along the way. It was like really hilly course, and it was cold when he started, and he just chucked stuff along the way. He lost hats, gloves, sweatshirt. Like my mom just was like
Yeah.
laughing. It was like all my dad's gear all throughout the course because he was bundled up because it was a cold day, but it ended up being he didn't know it was a hilly course. He thought it was pretty flat, and it wasn't.
Well, remember windbreakers even when we started running, like the
I always
90s
thought that was the dumbest
windbreakers.
name, right? It is the noisiest outfit. It didn't really do much, and then they called it a windbreaker. The wind cut right through it. Like it made
Yeah.
no sense to call it a windbreaker.
You were breaking wind in it. I mean, breaking the wind.
Weirdest outfit. Weirdest outfit. Popular as all ever, but
Oh,
never made
yeah.
any
Yeah.
sense.
I'm waiting for him to come back.
Even in other sports, like when we had like stuff like that, like those, the what
Oh,
do they
yeah.
call it? What else did they call them when you'd have for like soccer and basketball?
Warm
You'd have
ups?
this. Yeah, but like they were the same kind of stuff. It was like that windbreaker type
Oh, yeah,
material,
yeah.
and tracksuits they would call them, right? Wasn't that what they
Tracksuits.
called
Yeah.
them? And
Yeah.
you'd have that for basketball and soccer. I remember in soccer, like the ball would hit you, and it like wouldn't go where it was supposed to go because it was different fabric. So like you'd be trying to warm up, and the ball would be like slipping off your leg or your body. And you're like, what is going on? And then in basketball, they were terrible. Like all the warm up outfits I remember back in the day were awful. You're like, this is so stupid. And they make like wing ones, like where they'd be like
Yeah.
you look like a bat playing in it. It's like, what does that do for me?
That mesh on the inside.
Oh man, they're all bad. They're all bad.
Remember
That's so much better. I feel bad for these kids. They don't have to experience the terrible uniforms and warms we had.
tearaway pants?
Oh, those were cool though. I'm not gonna lie, those are still cool because you just walk up, boom.
I'm ready, coach. Put me in.
What are those? They're tearaway, man. It's just buttons down the side. We just did buttons.
Lost a button way over there. I'll have to find that later.
45 minutes later, the kids on the side snapping the buttons together, getting ready to put them back on.
It's colder out here than I thought.
The only negative part, it was so cool to rip them, but so bad to put them back together, and they were never sure which is which, whose is whose. Like it was messy.
It was fun though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
marathoning, running in general has come a long way, but yeah, marathoning has come a long
Yeah,
way.
the gears come along. Like it's ridiculous how good the gear is now. You're spoiled with this gear. Go grab a hoodie and get out there and do a couple.
Rocky style.
Rocky style, right? Exactly. That's what it was, man. That's what it was. Get some old sneaks, get your sweatsuit on. That's it.
Might have to watch that movie.
That's it. That's it. So back to what we're talking about.
What were we talking about? We're talking about something?
No, I don't even know.
Yeah, sorry.
So I do know we have a famous guy coming on next week.
We do. Super famous guy.
The most famous.
Most mentioned guy on our podcast.
We have people on the show that we have no idea know who he is, and they mention him anyway.
I know. It's a big deal. He's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big. People kind of know who he is.
Yeah. If you know who it is, comment below. And if you're right, we'll give you congratulations next time.
And I can't wait to hear what he has to say about this e-bike thing and marathoning.
I'm now that I know what it's all about, I'm curious to find out. We'll have to write it down as one of the questions.
So I got to ask you: are you a fan of the e-bikes?
Never used one. I think they're kind of personally. I think they're kind of stupid. I think if you're gonna be on a bicycle, then be on a bicycle, and if you're not, then get a motorbike. Like,
we put motors on everything now. Like
yeah,
scooters have motors,
I think that's
the
stupid too.
bikes have motors. You're putting motors on everything, and
Yeah.
everyone's treating them as if they're like designed for like
Oh
high
yeah.
speeds on the road, but then also high speeds on the sidewalk. It's like
Yeah.
they're not really designed for either. You
Yeah.
gotta take it easy.
I think they're stupid.
That brings me to my next thing.
It's like
Your
somebody.
Christmas gift is an e-bike.
Yeah. Well, it's like somebody who could not get a Power Wheel vehicle as a kid was like, I'm gonna put a motor on my bicycle and just ride that around. It's like, grow up. You're a grown person. You don't
I,
need a
I mean,
bicycle with a little motor on it that
let's
buzzes.
get argumentative for a second. There are people that use them because they don't have the endurance. They're trying to get in shape. They're trying, and they have reasons for the e-bike.
I would
I
just
mean,
spend your money on a stationary then.
no,
Stay out
stationaries
of
are like
people's way.
treadmills. It's
Out of the
horrible.
public eye.
It's horrible. So listen, I'm getting you one for Christmas. So just so you know, you ruined it on yourself, and I hope that you
Uh,
grow to love that e-bike in the future.
I will never charge it, and it will just be a bicycle. Like that what happens then? If it dies, then what do? They gotta pedal it. So why not just pedal it from the start?
That's a really good point. I don't think people have had them long enough for like them to have problems like that.
It's like it's like when people put a sign on an escalator, out of order, use stairs. Why don't I just continue to use this? It is now stairs. You didn't have to put a sign on it. I could just walk up the stairs.
Oh no, that's trouble. People might just get stuck on there and not knowing what to do.
Oh no, the escalator stopped. What now? It's not like you're in an elevator, you know? Like you get stuck in an elevator, now you've got a problem. You get stuck on an escalator, big deal. You can't walk up or down them, then use the banister. Slide down. We're
Don't do
getting emails about this.
don't do that. Yeah, no, like I honestly think that they really haven't been around that long that people have probably had some major problems like that. Because think about it, like when you have just a regular bike, you get a flat or your derailleur goes, or like there's some kind of problem with it, right? I mean, like you might have to, figure out how to get back. But like with those e-bikes, yeah, you might be out like miles and you're not in shape to get back. And then if you don't have a way to communicate, you're having a long, long walk back.
That's a way to get in shape.
Well,
Remember
that's
when
true.
one of our college teammates won one of those like electric scooters at the carnival with the dart game? Now
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
See, the scooters, the thing about scooters is you just hit a rock the wrong way, man. You go flying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like whatever kind of scooter it is, like there's just that possibility you hit that rock. Because like on a bike, you kind of control some of that. You can get a wheelie going. Scooters aren't like that, man. They kind of hit that front and then you go flying over the front.
Or you know what? If you think you need an e-bike, just get a moped. You sit on it the same way.
I I I gotta be honest, man. Like I think Vespas are pretty cool.
Vespa.
My buddy growing up had bought like an old Vespa, like a blue, like really
I was gonna
cool,
say,
like
was
straight.
it pearl blue or whatever it
I
was?
don't know what color blue it was, but it was awesome. He like brought it and he stored it in my garage because he didn't have room for it. And I was like, this is actually like the coolest looking thing ever. Like it was probably like from the '60s. And I was like, this thing looks awesome, man. I'm sure it's dangerous if you're like driving like any like back road, but like to cruise around the city in, I was like, this thing is pretty cool.
Vespa.
Yeah, I gotta admit, they're pretty cool.
To each their own.
Even Disney came out with a movie with they talk about the Vespa and how cool it is in it.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
That just solidifies it, man. That's it. It's a cool ride.
Uh,
No, I was always a fan of the mountain bike though. Like if I was gonna pull a bike, it'd be the mountain bike. I had a road bike for a little while. Was not a big
yeah.
fan. Never could get real comfortable on it. But the mountain bike I like. You take it anywhere. It's not the fastest thing, but it's durable, reliable. Ride over anything.
Yeah.
Fan.
That's what I had too, as a mountain bike. It's pretty slick.
That's because you live in the flats by the ocean.
Eat my cake by the ocean.
So, But listen, so I'm glad your training's going well. I'm very excited about our guest next week.
Yeah, it'll be a fun time.
I'm gonna have some questions for him, for
Me
sure,
too.
for sure. But yeah, so we're gonna get him on. We're gonna get those questions going, and if you guessed it, if you didn't, you're gonna have to go back and listen so you can figure out who it is.
Comment below.
All right,
We'll send you a sticker or something.
sticker or something. All right, listen, we'll be back to talk more about this certain person next week. Talk with
Yeah,
them
man.
about their recent marathon and Wolfman's upcoming race on Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah.
Okay. Run an extra mile. It's never crowded.
So that's run an extra mile. It's never crowded. That's good advice, guys. Think about that for a little bit. Talk about that in the future. Maverick and Wolfman running out.